Taoiseach, the one particular sort of character of these leaks is that many of them are planned ministerial leaks. They're coming from ministers. And they include cuts to child benefit, increases in VAT, the huge hikes in prescription charges, and the closure of community nursing homes. And Taoiseach, you say many times, and you tell citizens, we're all in this together. But there are 30 former politicians earning pensions significantly in excess of €100,000. They include members of Féin, members of Fine Gael, members of the Labour Party and the PDs. And some of them even earn as many as €3,000 extra for attending some meetings. And there are another 100 civil servants taking home pensions in excess of €100,000. Now, Taoiseach, you know, if an ordinary citizen, I use that term ordinary advisedly, one winning streak, they'd be over the moon to win 50, 60, 70, 100,000. But these elites take this money home every single year, and it's coming out of the people's pockets. So, Taoiseach, we're not, and all of us are not in this together. There are two Irelands, and I think you should take the opportunity today to say that you will now cap public pensions and that you will stop pensions going to people who are still in employment. They're still working. They haven't retired. So I think you should take the opportunity today to set the record very straight on this issue.
Thank you. Taoiseach.
The question of serious amounts of money being paid in pensions to persons who have been retired is a matter of some importance to the government. I get it all the time myself around the country. This didn't start just now. It's been going on for some time. That's why, in its own small way, I happen to be the first public servant actually to take a voluntary pay cut and leave aside whatever other bits and pieces of pensions were there, including casting aside from a different profession. But I want you to understand that this is a matter upon which government have a concern. I put it this way to you: the Minister for Public Expenditure and Reform will make a statement about this afternoon, and perhaps it might be appropriate if you were to wait for that statement rather than me give you the details now, for the Minister with responsibility here to set out what the position is.
Deputy Adams.
Well, we'll wait to see what the Minister has to say, but let me, if I may, give you a health warning. It's not good enough unless he comes out clearly and very succinctly and brings an end to this practice, which is obscene, especially given that there are, as heralded by other ministers, going to be cuts not just in the most vulnerable of our citizens, although that's bad enough, but for people who never thought of themselves as economically vulnerable. And it's just absolutely disgusting that for attending a meeting, a person would be paid €3,000 by the taxpayer on top of an exorbitant salary of perhaps $100,000 on top of a pension. So I applaud your willingness to set aside whatever you set aside coming into this office. But we would wait in anticipation and hope that this isn't going to be another broken promise, because all of the issues that I signalled up that are now subject of ministerial leaks are issues which your partner said were red line issues. You yourself, rin tusa agus rin Diniello of Fine Gael along Galanchi, we Narodi Shaw agus Tasa got gore Brish Shivsha Aland a Galanti Shin. So we wait in anticipation to see what the Minister has to say. But there's no way this government will win support. I know you got a huge mandate, but to do something entirely differently from what you're doing now, if you go forward with this budget and at the same time the elites are able to cream all of this money from the taxpayers' pockets.
Thank you. Taoiseach.
Well, I've gotten to know you a little better since you came in here, but I get suspicious when I get health warnings from you. I'm sure you understand that. Deputy, the pension levy has been introduced, as you know, on the remuneration of all public servants. That will realise over £1 billion in savings this year. A tiered reduction in all public service pensions above 12,000 was introduced that cut pensions on average by about 4%. Pensions over 200,000 are being taxed. Lump sums over 200,000 are being taxed. The grace period, which allows people to retire on pre-cut salary, ends on the 29th of February 2012, and that means that those retiring after then will see a pension reduction of 7% on average, as their final salary pensions will be calculated on a reduced pay level, as you're aware. Now, the Minister's comment will be in respect of the higher number of pensions, the higher number of superior pensions, you might call them. I understand that there are about 250 people or thereabouts in the country in receipt of pensions over 100,000. And this is obviously a focus of some considerable attention. There are other areas also where huge amounts are being paid on a daily basis. And the government obviously look across the range here. So in respect of the question that you raised about very high pensions, extraordinary amounts being paid in respect of pensions to a specific number of people, the Minister for Public Expenditure will deal with that in the afternoon in the House, sir.
Thank you.